My dear children, we are just left with 28 days for our final exams of PU2, right? So now see, you might have studied everything, or you might have studied half or not started anything. But what actually matters is how do you write in the exam? How much do you write in the exam? Now, how much you will write will depend on how much you have actually remembered in your brain from the things that you have studied, right? And it is very often happens that when we study so many things, we tend to forget, right? And we can remember the things for a longer period of time if we do proper revision, okay? Effective revision. Now, revision is something which is very boring because we have already studied that thing. Rereading those concepts, rereading those things is very boring, right? But yes, again, it is very important. So in this video, I'll be telling you that how you should be revising in this last 28 days, okay? So whatever you have done before doesn't matter, but this 28 days, how you are using it effectively to revise is something which is very important, and I'm going to discuss about that in this particular video. So please watch the complete video and please sit with the notebook and a pen, and whatever tips and tricks I'm telling you, please note it down, okay? So moving forward, first I want to discuss with you that in this video we'll discuss first today's agenda, means what all things I'll be covering in today's video. So here are the things that I'll be covering today. First, we'll see importance of revision. I think all of you know that, but yes, I'll be giving you a very quick glimpse of that. Next, effective revision strategy. This is very important because now we are in the period when we have exams, right? So at this point of time, we not only should revise, but we should revise effectively. Next, we have techniques to boost your attention. We will do definitely revision, but what other things we can do so that we can keep in our mind, we can remember what to do, okay? Next, we have mistakes to avoid during revision. This is very important because many a times we think that yes, we have revised, but after going to the exam, we still forget everything. So we should not do these mistakes during revision. Next, you have one day before exam, what should be your strategy for revision, okay? So let us start with the first thing, that is importance of revision. So it is very important to retain your concepts, whatever you have studied, to remember those things. Next, it is useful for boosting your confidence. When you know that, okay, whatever I have studied, I have remembered it, that gives you a confidence that yes, you can write in the exam as well and you will get good marks, okay? And third is improve your accuracy and speed. I'll give you a small example. Suppose a question has come from colligative property. If you have remembered the formula, quickly you will write down the formula, you will substitute the answer values, you will put the calculation, you will use calculator and write down the value. Now the same thing, if you are not able to recall the formula, then what you will do, you will spend time in recalling it, you will sit some time, and that is actually where you will waste your time, okay? So your speed and accuracy will both be disturbed there. So this is why we should revise. We all know this, right? But this is what I want to discuss, that is what should be the revision strategy, effective revision strategy. The first one is you plan your revision. We make study plans, right? Every day we make study plan, weekly plan, but we do not make revision plan. So that is where we do mistake. But yes, this mistake will not be continued from today because I'll tell you how to plan your revision. Next, you should revision in cycles. Okay, what is this also? I'll be telling you in detail. Next, prioritize your weak areas. So whenever you revise, do not revise those things which you already know. For example, colligative properties, formulas you already know, right? You don't have any doubt in that. But organic reactions you are not able to revise, you are not able to recall. So you should focus on revision of organic reactions. Next, you have short notes. So whenever you do revision, please make sure that you use your short notes only. And next, you should solve questions. So the revision is more effective when you solve questions rather than when you just look at the notebook and read whatever short notes you have written. Okay, so it is better always to revise by solving questions. Okay, I'll tell you next part. So what is your first here? Plan your revision. How will you plan it? See, allocate 2 slots per day. Allocates 2 slots per day for revision, and my recommendation is one should be in the morning session when you start your day, put a revision session, and at the end of the day, okay, you should be having one revision session. This can vary from 15 minutes to 30 minutes or 45 minutes, 1 hour, anything. Okay, but 2 slots should be there. Next, follow the 80-20 rule. Focus 80% of your time on high weightage topics and 20% of time on the less important ones. So, you know, organic chemistry is very important, right? Because it is having maximum weightage. So, put your 80% of time in the revising of organic chemistry. Okay, so when you are revising, give your time to those topics which are having high weightage. Okay. Next point was what? Revise in cycle. What is this? You have to use 3R approach. What is the meaning of that? You should do your first revision within a week of studying a topic. Next revision is on 15 days and the next revision should be closer to the exam. So now I will tell you one example here. Suppose today is 1st of Feb, right? And today you have studied a chapter, for example, solutions. Now when should you be revising it? Solutions chapter you studied, or let me tell you, haloalkanes and haloarenes, you have read all the reactions and everything. So Tuesday morning, in the morning slot of Tuesday, I told you 2 days, 2 revision slots should be there. In the first slot, you should revise what you have studied the previous day. That is your first revision. Second revision should be 1 week after that, means again on the 8th of that. You should revise that again on this time. What will you revise here? See, you would have prepared short notes. You would have done previous year questions. You would have done numericals from this chapter. You would have done MCQs from this chapter. So whatever questions got wrong, that also you should keep in mind. You should write it separately or you should write it with your short notes only. So those wrong questions and those concepts from your short notes you should revise on 8th. Next one, after that, next one should be after 15 days. So after 15 days means I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Almost about 23rd you should revise one more time. The same thing you should revise short notes and your wrong questions, right? Then once more you should revise before your chemistry exam day. So you are revising it 1, 2, 3. When you revise these 3 times, you will be completely prepared for this chapter, right? That is what you should revise in cycle. Next one is what? Prioritization. So as I told you, you should always give more focus to those topics for revision which are high weightage and you are weak in that. Okay, so high weightage plus weak should be given first priority. Then high weightage and you are strong in that, so you should take less time but you should revise it first. Then moderate and low weightage but you are strong in that topic, then you should go for moderate and low weightage but you are weak in that topic. Okay, so this should be your revision strategy for this 28 days. After that, what we have to do? As I told you, always revise using short notes. These are very important. So revise using concise notes or flashcards, highlight formulas, key concepts, and this one. Here I want to tell you one more thing, that okay, I'll go to that. And lastly is your solve your PYQs and MCQs. So where suppose you have studied a chapter, okay, you have to solve its questions. Okay, that will be like more effective. You don't have to revise the concepts and again. I'll give you a very simple example. Suppose you have learnt one formula. Okay, suppose you have learnt colligative formula. Okay, of for example, relative lowering of vapor pressure. Instead of revising this formula again and again, better do its numericals. Every time you do the numericals, you will write down the formula, right? So every time you write this formula, this formula will be stored in your mind. So that is why it is better always to revise through questions. Okay, so suppose one chapter is done for you, you do not have to wait to revise that video. Like you suppose one chapter is done for you, so you do not have to wait and like what I can say here is, see, suppose one chapter is done for you. So what you should be doing once you have revised it, when you do second and third revision, try to do questions from those chapters. Like you do previous year questions, you do pre-board questions, you do midterm questions, you do some model paper questions. Try solving questions on those topics. This will be helpful to like the knowledge that you have stored in your brain. How are you exactly using in the exam? That will be shown here, right? Next we have how to boost your retention. How can you keep your like whatever you have studied better? That is, first one is active recall. Next you have spaced repetition. So spaced repetition, I told you how you should revise, right? After every, first is the next day, next one will be after 15 days, sorry, after 7 days, then you have after 15 days, and then after before exam, 1 day before exam, right? Now active recall I will be telling you, and this is the best way of revising, I can tell you. If you have a study group, if you have your friends, so please teach them whatever you have studied, explain them, teach them, so that the concept is very clear in your mind. Okay, so this will, when you teach someone, you will not mug up anything, you will understand the concepts, and understanding the concepts is the best way to keep the concepts for a longer period of time, right? So let us see what is active recall. See, now in active recall, suppose I have studied haloalkanes and haloarenes chapter. Okay, today morning I studied. Evening I want to revise it. How will I revise? Will I go and see the short notes? No. I will see, suppose I have studied methods of preparation of haloalkanes. I will take a blank page. I will write haloalkanes, and I will write what were the methods of preparation for that. I will try to prepare flow chart for this. So like for example, if I can say free radical mechanism, okay, so if I say for example I have CH4, and if I used Cl2 in presence of H nu, then I will get CH3Cl. This is one way of remember, this is one method of preparation. Then I will recall, okay, what else method of there? Yes, I remember one more method. If I have alkene, if I add Br2CCl4, then if I add, I'll get haloalkanes. Okay, next, okay, if I have alcohols and if I treated them with SOCl2, then I'll get RCl. Okay, this is one method. So like this I will write down. So always for organic chemistry, I'm telling you especially, whenever you prepare, right, just write down the number. There were 6 methods of preparation of haloalkanes. There were 5 methods of preparation of haloarenes. There were 5 chemical properties of haloalkanes. There were 5 chemical reactions of haloarenes. Write down these numbers and see how many of you are able to write it. So that is how you should do active recall. Okay. Next is spaced repetition. I have already told you how you should do spaced repetition. You should revise it on a fixed interval of time. Okay. After that, we have teach what you learn. So whenever you have your friend, you have your siblings, you have your parents, you have your teacher, anyone you can talk, you can explain them the concept. So when you do this, this is the best way I can tell you, and this really tests that how much you have understood the concept. Okay, and if you are explaining someone and that person is also understanding the concept, then definitely you have understand the concept very well. Okay, now after this, what we have? Mistakes that we should avoid while doing revision. Okay, this is the first mistake that we all do: too much time spending on a single topic. You know, today you have planned that you will revise physics, chemistry and maths, whatever you studied the previous day, but you kept revising only physics and you didn't get time for chemistry and maths. That should not be there. Equal distribution of time for all the 3 subjects for revision should be there. Okay. Next, passive revision. Passive revision is what? Just seeing the short notes. Okay, so there is you should do active revision, and in active revision we have 2 things. In active revision, either you do active recall, okay, either you do active recall or solve questions. Both the ways are good. Okay, this is what you should do in active revision. Next, skipping mock test. So you might think that, okay, I haven't studied, I haven't remembered. So when you write mock test, you will exactly understand what you are forgetting during the exam, what concepts you are not able to recall during the exam, which examples you are not able to recall during the exam, which definition, which formula, which concept you are forgetting during the exam. These all things you will come to know if you are writing the mock test. So mock test is very important to understand what you should revise. Okay, before talking about how to revise, you should know what to revise. So what you have to revise? The things that you have got wrong in your mock test, in your pre-board, in your preparatory, in your midterm, whichever questions got wrong, you need to revise those questions. Okay, so yes. So now this is the last minute tip, how you should revise during the last day of the exam. Very, very important. That is, focus on quick revision, because you have only 1 day, right, before last night. So just focus on quick revision. Okay, so this should be from your short notes. Okay, next, solve wrong questions, whichever questions you got wrong and you have been solving it again and again, solve them one more time so that you are confident that okay, these questions are no more your weak point, and then focus on the factual data. Now what is this? We tend to forget. I remember in my school days I used to forget the values. For example, what is the value of gas constant, what is the value of epsilon, what is the value of what is that called, Planck's constant, what is the value of Boltzmann constant, and what's the value of Avogadro number. These all values I used to forget. Okay, sometimes it is given in the question, but sometimes it is not given. So make sure that you revise all these things. Factual data also includes your examples. Like I'll say for chemistry, you have ideal solution, non-ideal solution, azeotropic mixture, positive, negative deviation. Then you have from biomolecules, monosaccharides, disaccharides, polysaccharides example, difference between, so many things are there. So all the factual data you should focus on revising. Okay, that's all in this video, students. And I hope that you would have understood how to revise in the next 28 days. Please do not waste time. Please keep, I know in this 28 days you have to study a lot of things, right? But and in that case you might think that revision is something which is waste of time. But remember, when you are studying so much in your short period of time, your brain, you are putting extra pressure on that, right? You are giving more work to your brain. So that is why you also, so brain tends to forget more at this point of time also. So make sure that you revise on proper time, do effective revision so that you can remember everything that you have studied till the date of the exam. Now what's the use if you have studied for the whole month, put day and night, but nothing comes to your mind during the exam? That will happen if you do not do revision. So please do not do this mistake. Revise everything that you are studying in a proper and in a periodic, effective manner. Okay, so that's all, students, and see you soon in the next class. Do not forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you for watching.